Jennifer kicked Brent out of bed.
He's probably still celebrating his birthday.
Yeah, that's true. He's lying on the bathroom floor. curled up on the bath mat.
Miserable.
The bad old days.
Yeah, that was never the good old days, huh?
Yeah, I'm so glad I can't drink that much anymore.
Steve, you're getting fuzzy there.
I know. Well, it's like with nothing else to do during the virus, I might as well grow the hair on my face.
Well, thank you everybody for joining us. We'll get things started here. So Romy, thank you for, I guess, bringing that up. Amy was reaching out and it helped me realize that we don't want any of our red badgers to feel like they're in limbo without being able to do Sergeant at Arms tasks. So I did send her the list of clubs that she could also attend, and we figured out a way to do some Sergeant at Arms. So she's currently taking attendance, she's going through the photos for Nick, and then she's going to introduce the raffle for us here. And then a third task is she is going to reach out or has reached out to a few members, committee chairs, or club members to learn more about the club, and hopefully by the end of this meeting she'll have a chance to share a little bit of what she's learned and how she can engage with the club. So I guess all you other red badgers, I think you'll coordinate with Nick. I believe he's reaching out to give you the same opportunity to attend these other meetings. Actually, that'll be through your mentor, but take attendance, help with the raffle, and then present towards the end of a meeting to see what you've been able to learn. I've offered or encouraged, or I want to encourage the members to chat with her if you want to share anything or recruit, share about your committee, and we'll see where this goes at the end of the meeting. So Amy, I don't know if you'd like to talk about the raffle.
Sure. So actually, I don't know the details this week if it's up to 90 for the pot.
Nick, I believe it's up to 100, right?
Yeah, it's up to 100.
Okay. And then I'm a little bit fuzzy. The winner, if the blue ball is pulled, the winner gets the 100?
So the winner will get the gift certificates, and
Okay.
then the business that last donated will get the pot.
Okay. I should have had that clear before this.
And so I'm going to take a moment to donate as well.
So yeah, just going to Rotary Club dash Arcata Sunrise on Venmo, and it's $5
to get an entry. Yes.
So I'm doing that now, and then we'll pull the winner at the end.
At the very end, yes. Well, thank you, Amy. And I did reach out to some club members, as Venmo is not, I guess, as ubiquitous as I had imagined. There's folks who prefer to perhaps engage a different way. So I'm going to look to see if there's a way to explore different options, but not make it super challenging for Nick to try to collect and then turn around and reward. So stay tuned there. I'm not sure if you have any ideas out there. I know some have offered or suggested PayPal, but we'll see. I want to keep it to one platform so it's not too complicated. But if you have suggestions, please let me know. Thomas, did you manage to join us this morning?
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah.
Or good afternoon for you, huh?
Bonjour. Bonjour, Thomas.
So I made a presentation actually, but I don't know. I'm on my phone right now, so I'm gonna try to record that. It's not that. Okay. And if I can do that. I think I do. You need to like give me the control of the meeting or something, so I can share my screen.
Yeah.
Thomas was our foreign exchange student. So anyone who's visiting.
And he has
You
returned.
in France, or because I know, like I think like most of the exchange students in France had to go home at the beginning of the lockdown, I guess. And I know in California there is still, I guess, maybe 5 exchange students, I think, or something like that. Okay, but yeah, like most of them are just gone home. Okay, I think you should be able to see my screen, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, okay. Can you see the pictures?
And yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know. How does this work? No, this way. Okay, I got it. Okay, so the picture, it should be like a church. So it's like one of the only thing we pretty much have in my town. It's like a very old church from the 12th century, I guess. And that's like the main monument we have. And then I just took some pictures, like, because usually during the summer, I just like to go out and ride my bike. And so those are like some pictures of the region. So like, it's mostly just like farmlands and like forest, and we have like some hills, and well, the weather is actually pretty nice right now. It's more like, it's maybe 85 degrees, I think, outside. It's pretty warm. But yeah, so this is my friend. So we just like to go like, I think like on Sunday, we did like 67 kilometers. It should be around maybe like 40 miles, I guess. And so we went, like those are like some hills and stuff like that. And like, I think it's very different from like California, actually, like especially the Humboldt County, because we have a lot of like farmlands and a lot of like farm just, and the forest is also pretty small, but so yeah, that's it.
Thank you for sharing. Beautiful countryside.
Yeah.
So when will you be ready for the Tour de France?
Yeah, well, we're trying to like go further every year, because like I used to just go maybe like 20 miles, and now we're doing like 40 miles pretty much every week. So like I'm just like in 3 hours. It's pretty good.
And Steve, do you have something to share with Thomas?
Well, I do. So my wife Patty and I hosted Thomas at the beginning of the year, and so our address became his address, and the phone number that they would call if there was ever an issue was my cell phone number. I'm not exactly sure how that happened, but during Thomas' stay, none of that ever got updated. So we always got his mail and stuff from the school, and I would get robocalls from the school saying, your student has missed 1 or more classes today. Please come to the attendance office to da-da-da-da. And I'm thinking, oh man, there's Thomas. He's screwing off the whole time. He's not going to class. He's such a, such a slacker in school. Well, so Thomas, we have his address. So the school sent this certificate here. Let's see, now wait a minute, can you see it?
Oh.
Let's see, wait a minute. Oh, it's like, I can't get it to focus. because of my virtual background. But anyway, it says the superintendent's award GPA 4.0 plus. So I guess Thomas has not been screwing around in school. He's an A plus student at Arcata High. Too bad it didn't count back in France.
Yeah.
But we got your last report card, and I must say I did open it, and there was nothing but A's on your report card. So congratulations, Thomas. You did a great job in school when you were here. It was
Yeah,
really great to
thank
have
you.
you as well.
Congratulations. Yes.
Thank you.
Well, we look forward to your next update. Thank you again for joining us.
Yeah.
So just really quick, I just see some extra, some new guests here. Barbara, thanks again for joining us. And I have a 512-587-8556 number. Can you please identify yourself?
That's me, AJ Dustin.
Gotcha, Dustin. Thank you. Just making sure. Okay. I'll have to keep that number in my phone.
I thought you had that number.
I know. Just playing. So thank you for sharing. Looks like you've been having some fun during the quarantine.
Yeah, I've been getting lots of time with the kids, and got a new boat, which I ordered a few years ago and finally just showed up. So hopefully we get a good salmon season.
Nice. Yeah, looks like a good day to be out on the water. Thanks again for sharing. Jose, you out there? Doesn't look like it here, so I'll catch him next round. Looks like he's been busy on his bike. Karen, so a new addition to your at a glance. We've got so far the fundraiser yearbook. You've got the presidents and the club at a glance. You've been busy. Can you tell us more about how you've been keeping busy with keeping history of RCAS? Here, I can help. I got you.
Okay.
I've unmuted
Am
you.
I unmuted?
Yes.
Okay. I got, well, I'm embarrassed to say I actually started this about 10 years ago, but I decided to finish it since I'm at home and the garden, not good gardening weather. And as I started working on it, I realized it would be nice to have different components of our club and record the history before we forget. So I started working on the at a glance document, and I took each year of our club and just made a snapshot of that year. I included, the president, the board, exchange students, the theme that year for RI, who the district governor was, and then just highlights of the year. And it's I think it's about 30 pages right now. And then I took, I extracted and I made a president's yearbook, and I just put the headshot of each president in a separate document. I did the same thing for the youth exchange students. I found, I contacted several club members and was able to gather what people could find. And then the last piece I did was, and I haven't sent it to you, AJ, it's a recap of our spring fundraisers and just photographs, the theme of things I could find, and I had a lot of help from Dick's Sunrise Spirit. Ian sent me photos, Janice and Craig sent me photos and provided some detail that I didn't know about because I was a brand new Rotarian back when. And it's been a lot of fun, and I'm making a physical scrapbook. I'm hoping that the membership committee can use it when they're talking about the club for new members, and new members can have a resource if we can put it somewhere where everybody can access it, and it's a resource of our history. And then hopefully somebody else can keep up with it, because I want to move on to another project. So.
Yeah, thank you for investing so much time. There's so many fun photos. You even have things that the board has voted on, so some changes that have happened over the years. So it's interesting to kind of watch through the history of how the club has evolved. So thank you so much for putting that together, and I'm sure that'll make its way to the website, so then we can make it easy to share to potential future club members, so and existing ones. So thank you. Lori, you had a celebration this weekend.
We did. And is Stephanie Lane in the group today? Can we see her?
I am.
Woohoo! You rock it, girl. Oh my gosh. So HSU went ahead with the graduation. It was a huge effort by HSU. Stephanie, you were amazing.
Oh, thank you. I helped coordinate commencement. That's why.
It is incredible. So they had all 3 ceremonies. Kate graduated in the 3rd one at 4 o'clock on Saturday. We were with Meg and her fiance Ryan, hooked it up to their big screen TV and Zoomed with the rest of the family and just had a fantastic graduation. Thank you, Stephanie.
Yeah, and it was the perfect year for a virtual ceremony because it was just dumping outside. And that wouldn't have been fun to do outside.
Exactly.
And for those of you who didn't see it, if you want to, all the ceremonies are up on the commencement website up at Humboldt that you can rewatch, or if you have a friend. And students were able to submit videos of themselves, so it was a really personal touch. It was really great. So lots of fun comments in the chat too, if you watch them.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing, Lori, and thank you, Stephanie. Mr. Plumley, you have some news for us. Where are you?
Last week of the MBA program, I can't believe it's almost over. 1 paper left to write, and today at 1 o'clock via Zoom, they let me know I'm going to be receiving the Outstanding Student Award for my work in the program. So it was kind of a nice surprise.
Congratulations. Yes. Thank you for sharing there. And then I do have one more recognition, but I didn't get a slide in for it. So John, I don't know if you have a video prepared for us to share with the club.
Yes. Yeah, let me see if I can share my screen. Let's see, it says host disabled participant screen sharing. Could you give me permission to share my screen?
John Gullam. I thought this would be in alphabetical order here. Oh, you move up to the top when you start talking. Gotcha. Here you go.
Okay. So this is a little video, very rough cut, of a project AJ has been heading up. So let's have a look. There's no sound, so don't be turning up your speakers. Everybody see that?
Yes.
Okay.
So AJ, narrate. What are we looking at?
So that's how the garden started, and essentially we built up 9 garden beds, if I counted that correctly, or maybe it was just 6. And we filled them with soil. And actually, Karen just recently got their tool donation delivered this week. And so I'm going to go check in this weekend and take some photos, and we can see a more final product. I'd love to. Peninsula School is out there on Samoa, and they've asked or looked for a garden to be able to feed or help with school lunches. And during the pandemic, that's what they've been doing is they continue to feed their school community out there in Samoa. And this was just a fun, get your hands dirty project that because of the pandemic has kind of come to a standstill, but looking to see if there's anything that we can do, finishing touches. I'm going to look for a last, if it's available out there. I know that I think businesses may not be able to do this anymore, but hopefully get some bark donated so we can put some bark down. And I know that they've already planted. I think Karen had said that they've built some mini greenhouses in some of them to propagate some veggies and start that process. So I mean, the final goal was to get some kids in the photo and get show the kids enjoying the garden, but I think that's definitely gonna have to wait until we get through this pandemic. So thank you, John, for putting that together.
Yeah, you bet. Keep me posted on when things are happening out there. I'll come out and get some more, and we'll put something together.
Appreciate that. Thank you. So let me come back to sharing. Oh, I gotta reclaim the host. Okay. So, any guesses to who we have here?
That's Bryn.
The birthday boy.
Birthday boy Bryn, yes. And how about here? We got a pair.
Yes.
Aw.
Jessica, right?
Yes. And one last one.
A tricky one.
Yeah.
My chat up since I can't see what
Greg.
Randy.
Here we go. Not wearing a mask though.
Oh,
Whiskers. Nice.
Look at that beard.
look at that fuzzy face.
So Maggie's putting together our final Friday. She got the menu from Casaro's for one of the items I'll be bidding on. Maggie, I don't know if you want to share.
Yeah, this is one example. We're going to also have dinner for 4 from Brett Schuler and from Citrine Catering. And I believe there's also going to be another item that Rachel was putting into the mix to raise some money for the scholarship fund. So there will be 4 food-related items on next Friday. So I hope you're here and you bid. The money will go for these catered meals will go to the caterer.
I think there was another entry by Mike as well. So
Great, I see that Terry's putting that out too. So that will be, we'll have 5 items. That'll be fun.
yes, thank you everybody for your donations. And yeah, this is exciting. Support our caterers. Thank you, Mike. Yes, your volume 2. A huge thank you to the club. We've definitely surpassed the goal. We are at 12,000 as a donation to Food for People, and this could not have happened without the generosity of the club. So thank you everybody who has been able to support this effort. Collectively as a region, here's a fun photo we just took this week. We've raised over $50,000 for Food for People, which was unbelievable. And it was an amazing effort by all the clubs in the area. So yes, thank you again. And then on top of that, Ryan got this jump started, but we were also able to raise over $5,000 for scholarships. So the scholarships will continue. Bryan, I don't know if you have any thoughts on what that'll look like this year, since we're not able to actually host a ceremony.
We're going to be doing Zoom meetings, interviewing the kids this week, next week on Thursday and Friday, starting at 2 o'clock. Those notices and invitations are going out. And then we are actually working on the virtual top 10%. We'll be connecting about that, and we should be able to have recognitions on our Zoom Rotary meeting.
So during the regular meeting, you'll have the nominations, and will we still have a speaker, do you know, like a motivational speaker?
We're discussing just having Dave Navarre come on and do an introduction.
Okay. So looking forward to that.
Traditionally, and being able to introduce the kids in the top 10%, and then we can introduce our award winners as well.
That's awesome. Thank you for your efforts here, Bryan and team. I'm glad that this was something that we were still able to continue, and it could not have happened without your effort. So thank you.
That amazing work from Rotarians stepping forward. I'm really proud to be a member of this club.
Yes. So Ian, I'm not sure if you're out there. I don't know if you can share what's happening with Rye next year. I don't know if I can find you here. Looks like Ian must have dropped off here, but
I can share with you.
Okay. Thanks, Claire.
Yeah, so as a club, I think, I'm not sure if we talked about this last week, but we decided that with the difficulties of COVID that we would not be able to send Lila out for next year. And shortly after our decision, the district youth exchange committee also came to the same conclusion. So next year, no one's going out. They're going to take that time to really strengthen the program and, do some organizational things. And the students all have the option to go during the following year, so 21-22. There are 4 students in the district who will age out, and they're being encouraged to do at least a summer exchange, the short-term exchange. So it was a difficult decision, and Hyder is the interim chair for the youth exchange committee for the board. And, I know being on this end of it, it was a rough decision to make, and they got a lot of input from all of the other Rotary clubs, but, came to the conclusion that above all, we want to make sure that youth are safe and healthy, and with so many unknowns, it just was wise to continue the program this next year. So that's the sad news. Hopefully we'll be able to maybe have some of our past exchange students join our meetings sometimes, just to, keep the spotlight a little bit on youth exchange as well. Anyway, that's where we are.
I have extended the offer to our 3 most recent exchange students, and both Izzy and Judy would be excited to join us. The time zone thing will be interesting, but they're also currently finishing up their final exams, and so after the next 2 weeks, we'll be able to see their faces and get an update from them. So thank you, Claire. Okay. I don't know if anybody can speak to this, but this weekend is Kinetic Grand Championship, and they've definitely got creative with the pandemic, how they're going to celebrate this. And I don't know if there's any participants out there who can speak to this.
Wah.
Just looking for Brandy, but
Greg, your mic is on.
I know that. Wah.
Well, it should be a lot of fun. Live streaming should be interesting. So check in and I'll see if I can get some photos. Tom, I don't know if you have any updates for Feed the ER.
Feed the ER. Well, they're still doing it, but they're hurting for cash. So the meals have decreased substantially for the 3 hospitals. If anybody feels like contributing, I think I'm going to send some more money to help them out. But I think they made a plea. They went onto Facebook. Send something in.
Thanks for sharing. And then for those of you still howling, here's a fun little video that was recently shared.
It's on.
The stairs look very frightening.
When you guys do that, do the local dogs join in?
Sounds like you have a little call and response there. Thank you, Romy, for sharing.
It's on.
Okay.
We are very enthusiastic howlers.
You have to be. That's how you get it out. All right, 2020 Rotary Virtual Convention. Dustin, I don't know if you have anything to share here. Aren't you putting together a room of some kind?
Yeah, I'm trying to put together a virtual reception during the week of the International Virtual Convention, just because we missed out on our reception in Hawaii, which was going to be on the on the shore at sunset with some fire dancers and stuff. So we'll see if we can match that. But I'm going to try to put that together so we can at least all get together and say hi, and Kathy can say a few words, and this, that, and the other. So
I know some fire dancers.
Nice.
Perfect. Let's be in touch.
Zoom them in.
Zoom, yes. All right, Crystal, if you don't want to introduce our program for today.
Absolutely. So I have had the fortune of working parallel to Sonia Levy-Boyd for probably about 10 years. When I worked in juvenile hall, she was a mental health clinician there. She has always, been somebody who, when policy doesn't really meet best practices, her and I were giving each other the knowing side eye, yeah, that's not going to work. So she was always really great to have in the room in meetings, and especially when discussing kid treatment programs. Right now, she is the youth development supervisor and the supervising clinician for the TAY program of Humboldt County. They give all kinds of services to our transitional age youth, employment development, counseling. They're here to tell you more about that, not me. So go ahead and take it away, Sonia.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Awesome. I'm on my phone, so it's tiny, but my work computer doesn't have a phone or a camera on it. So thank you, Crystal, for inviting us, and thank you for the introduction. I'm currently one of 3 supervisors at the Transition Age Youth Division. I oversee the Humboldt County Transition Age Youth Collaboration and our peer coaches. And so I have on our call today, I have 2 of my staff that will introduce themselves as well and help me present about our division. So the Humboldt County Transition Age Youth Collaboration started this process for our TAY division in 2008 when they saw a need for foster youth that were falling through the system, that something needed to be done. And so they started building a team together to identify that not only the foster care youth, but youth in the probation system, juvenile justice system, mental health or behavioral health system, and homeless youth were really struggling in our county. So they put together a team to identify what those needs were, and that's what the creation of the TAY division started from. So the first round of policy recommendations that HCTAC is the Humboldt County Transition Youth Collaboration, so I'll use HCTAC for short. They looked at Semper Virens in the crisis unit, and they gave recommendations on how those places didn't really meet the needs of our transition age youth. And so they gave that feedback back to administration, and that's sort of what started that program. So after lots of town meetings and planning for the TAY Center, we finally launched in about 2011. I've been with TAY, I think, about maybe over 3 years. And like Crystal said before that, I worked as a mental health clinician in the juvenile hall and regional facility. So I've been with the county for about 9 years now. So that's the beginning of TAY. We are located in Eureka at 433 M Street. We have a really nice building that we moved into about 2 years ago that has a nice drop-in center, and we're a one-stop shop. So my staff here will introduce themselves and talk a little bit about the different programs that are all under the same roof of the TAY division. So Cody, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Hi there, I'm Cody, friend neighborhood peer coach, gender pronouns he and him. I've been with TAY for 3 years now. It's been a while, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about our behavioral health program. Our behavioral health unit provides specialty mental health services such as individual and family therapy, case management, and referrals for psychiatric services. And we try and focus on the transition domains of employment, housing, education, career, and personal well-being. We also offer a few mental health or behavioral health groups as well. We have a big staff now. We have four clinicians, 4 case managers, and in general an intern as well. And so yeah, I believe next Stacy's going to talk a little bit about our drop-in program.
Good morning, I'm Stacy Farmer. I am the lead peer coach here at TAY. Can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
Awesome. So our drop-in center is I say it's the heart of TAY. It's the first place that people will walk into before they even see the services. And when they come into our drop-in space, they are greeted with a peer coach. I am the lead peer coach here at TAY. Cody is our other peer coach, and we have 3 other peer coaches. So for each entity that we're going to talk about today, there's a peer coach in all of those portions of the TAY division. So our drop-in center, I'm going to actually show you because I'm here now. Give you a little peek. Let's see. Oop. So when they come in and they meet our peer coach here, and we kind of greet them the way you would greet any person. We're actually really nice here at TAY. And our goal is to not press upon them any services that they don't need, but figure out what it is they're looking for, and then start there. So we do a grand tour, and we have a bulletin board that usually has all of our things going on. Not much going on right now due to COVID. So we've had to adjust our services to meet our youth needs, but we have employment division. We have different groups that we'll talk about later. What's poppin' at Tay? I can see that. Try to speak the language. And then our community partners and resources. And we also have a nice pool table. Right now it's geared up to provide people with masks and sanitizer and mail. We've been doing food boxes, delivering them, dropping them off to the youth. We have a fully stocked computer lab. We have 5 fully loaded Apple computers where they can come and do digital media, they can do their stories, they can surf the internet, look for jobs, make resumes, all that good stuff. We've been doing a virtual drop-in. As you can kind of see, we've got our little setup where we are going on to Zoom and doing drop-ins so the youth can still check in with us and still have that connection. We also have a TV. We've been known to do movie nights, movie days. Yeah, and this is kind of where people come in and they get connected with all the other services. We also have a drop-in closet where youth can get clothes and access. It's our little event space back here where all of our groups happen. And we have our clothing closet where it's a little messy right now. I have to get in here, but where youth can come in and get different clothing for themselves and supplies. We're kind of low on supplies now, but we hand out things like toothbrushes, condoms, and hair care, and razors, and all the things, underwear, socks, shoes, you name it. If we can get it, we'll give it to them. We also have clothing for babies and moms, diapers and wipes, things like that. We have a mommy and me group we'll talk about. So yeah, so drop in is where we link them in, and then we offer them all the other services that we have and appoint them a handy dandy peer coach to help motivate them and connect them to all of those other services that they might not really think they need, but we'll listen to a peer coach to get them there. So that is drop-in. We also do food. We have a kitchen. Let me run you to the kitchen. So when we're regularly open, we do about 2 snacks a day. Do like a breakfast, and then in the afternoon, like a little lunch. And the youth are welcome to help us to cook those foods and oftentimes help decide what's going to actually go on the menu. And we do food demos. We've done like how to make sushi, and leave the door wide open so the smells of the kitchen have youth coming back to figure out what is going on back there. It's a great engagement. We're granted with CalFresh, so we link our youth to the CalFresh services as well through feeding them and help them get set up with CalFresh and those things. It is very early. And I'm going to turn it back to you, Cody.
Thank you for that tour.
Yeah.
I was still muted. I was trying to tell you about things. Anyway, I'm going to tell you a little bit about another one of our programs, ILS, or Independent Living Skills for long. The Independent Living Skills Program is a voluntary program designed to assist youth in transitioning from the foster care system to an independent lifestyle. All the California counties are mandated to have some form of ILS services, and youth who have been in the foster care system on their 16th birthday are eligible for ILS services until the day before they turn 21. Youth are referred to the program by their social worker or probation officer or anyone. And the Humboldt County's ILS program offers 3 different types of services. There are workshops, special events, and individual services. The workshops are a bunch of ongoing training sessions that cover various living skills and are presented by community experts. These can range anywhere from the cooking workshops to how to sew, or some of our bigger things that happen, which are some of the special events. There are events designed to enhance self-esteem and build skills for transitional age youth. Our examples are Wellness Week, Fall Feasts, our big winter holiday event. We have a TAY graduation every year for all the youth graduating high school or college. We have a big rafting trip that we do every year. We have multiple TAY barbecues we do, so, sometimes one, sometimes multiple. And then we also have individual services. These include one-on-one assessments, developing a plan for independence, assistance with financial aid forms, and applying for college or employment or housing, and applying for extended foster care, which is one of the next things I'm going to talk about. Extended foster care serves young people who turn 18 in the foster care system until they're 21 on a voluntary basis. EFC's goals are to help young people maintain a safety net of support while experiencing independence. So it's like we're EFC supporting them as they're turning into adult and learning, and it's like having their own coach in life. And they assist young people in becoming better prepared for successful transition into adulthood and sufficiency. An EFC social worker introduces a young person in all aspects of planning and decision making, recognizing them as experts in their own lives. And a young person who elects to continue engagement in the foster care system is going to be responsible to meet with their EFC social worker, attend court, and continue to meet all the eligibility requirements for EFC and ILS. So I'm sorry, that was a really big mouthful. There's a lot of that. There's a lot to ILS and EFC because ILS generally takes over a lot of the workshops that we have a lot of the bigger events. So sometimes that'll be a lot of what you see. Next, Stacy's going to talk about us, the peer coaches.
Thank you, Cody. So the heart of TAY, I believe, because I'm a peer coach, is not only its services, but how they've strategically decided to link at-risk youth to those services. We know that our at-risk youth can be very stubborn, and it takes a very stubborn person to deal with another stubborn person. So you've got your peer coaches here who have lived experience in the systems such as the juvenile justice system, the foster care system, the mental health care system, who are mentoring and empowering the young people to actually be their best and most authentic self. And sometimes as a peer coach, we have the ability to see through some BS, and our youth throw us some BS sometimes. And a peer coach is a person who could speak to that and be like, you know what, I think that you can do this. And because we have that lived experience, they tend to listen to us more. So we get them to their appointments. We encourage them to meet up with their probation officers. We transport them to meet up with their probation officers when they don't want to do it, and we talk them through how to do that and how to show up for themselves in their life. And it's pretty amazing job. It's not the easiest job in the world, but it's definitely rewarding in seeing where our youth come in and watching them grow as they do. So yeah, that is our peer coaches. And as I said, there's a peer coach for each entity. So we have a peer coach in behavioral health, we have a peer coach in the ILS EFC office, and a peer coach in the HCTC, and then a station peer coach in the drop-in. And then you have me overseeing all the peer coaches with Sonia and mentoring the peer coaches. So that is peer coaches. We also, I'll go ahead and just talk about our group. I do a group called Mommy and Me. And this group did meet every 2 weeks here at TAY, and it's a group for at-risk moms, and we would do bonding activities and outdoor activities, really teaching moms how to connect with their infants and their kids, and encouraging them to do TheraPlay through touch activities, and all kinds of other great things. But we also do a mood group, and there's a hearing voices group that is held through us as well. Mini groups to meet all the different needs that are out there. Cody does a role play group. Would you like to talk about that, Cody?
Yeah, sure. So I do a role play group. It was every 2 weeks, kind of alternating with Mommy and me on Fridays. But due to COVID, we've had to adapt and overcome. And because of that, we've been doing weekly role plays virtually, which has been really nice. It allows everybody to still access it from wherever they happen to be. We generally have a few youth join every week. And the whole idea about role play is kind of utilizing a game and imagination to help support and develop skills in the game and take them outside of the game into real life, and hopefully to be able to replicate that character development and growth into a real thing. A lot of stuff just went in chat.
I think, Cody, I'm up next, right, with HCTC?
Yes, you are. Take it
Okay.
away.
HCTC is Youth Power in Action. We understand that young people are the experts in their own lives, and so we help foster that. We help. We have a youth advocacy board that meets. Different committees meet every week, and then our big board meets once a month, and they work on various projects locally, statewide, and national to help improve the systems that our young people get involved in voluntarily or not voluntarily. So we serve 16 to 26-year-olds. They are able to earn a reimbursement for their time. So there's some monetary value when we utilize their expertise to help transform our systems. They are building leadership skills. They build public speaking skills, campaign skills, and are an awesome bunch of people to work with. We have about an average of 15 young people that are on our board at any given moment. And we have 3 youth organizers that oversee HCTC and help foster the leadership development in our young people. The TAY division also partners with communities. So we work with the Employment Training Division, and we have a vocational counselor assigned to TAY, where we're able to make referrals when people are looking for jobs and want help with resume building and interview skills and navigating how to apply in the community. We also partner with public health and have had a public health nurse assigned to work with us at TAY, where we're able to make referrals on reproductive care. We also partner with the substance use disorder services with the county. That includes the adolescent treatment program and the Humboldt County programs for recovery, which is for over 18-year-olds. So we are able to help young people when they come in who need help with treatment to make the referrals and do warm handoffs to those services. Of course, a lot of the things we've talked about has all changed in the last few months, and we've all pivoted and adapted really well to continue to meet the needs in our community. So all of the staff, most staff are working remotely, and some are still going into the office at times, but they're still providing individual services to young folks, either by phone or Zoom. Many of our groups have moved to Zoom, and then all of our youth advocacy board meetings have also moved to Zoom. So we're still taking referrals and meeting with young people, and then when we can, and delivering food boxes or resources, or still helping people get to those absolutely necessary appointments. we continue to, I think one of the questions was asked to present was sort of what have we done to adapt to COVID, and what are some of the needs that we have. There's this ongoing need, I think, throughout the whole community, and especially also for our young people, is just making sure we have enough masks, hand sanitizers, disinfectant wipes, as some of the main things that are hard to come by for everyone, and especially for our young folk who have a hard time getting out shopping or the resources to get those things. So we've been taking donations when we can and having them at TAY, either to deliver, or if someone comes to the door, being able to provide them with that when they come in.
And then the education. There's a lot of our homeless youth who don't even know what's going on with COVID. So when they do stop in, we're able to like educate them, hand them a mask, and tell them to be safe.
Yeah. So some of the other, I see a question. Yes, we need masks. We need masks, hand sanitizers, wipes, anything that can help our community, our young folks stay safe. And then also keep us safe when we're interacting with them. One of the challenges, since we've all moved remotely, is not all of our young people have access to the internet or a device to connect onto. A lot of them would come to TAY because we have Wi-Fi, and so they were able to use their phones or tablets that way. But because we're not open as readily, it's harder for them to connect. So we've lost some participants because of technology, and then some have flourished because this is a better platform for them than face-to-face. One of our ongoing issues with young people is transportation in our rural county. Taking the bus isn't always accessible to folks when they have to still walk several miles to get to the bus stop, or anxiety is so high when they ride the bus. But bus passes are things that we always need at TAY, that people always come by looking for, and we have limited resources for that and very program-specific ways that we're able to give those out. Laundry is another big need, laundry cards, access to laundry mats. And then one of the things that we're seeing with our homeless young people is just the shelters aren't accepting folks. And so there's a lot of our young people living on the streets right now, and then they're not able to come by TAY and hang out during the day or get that meal or get that connection or that relationship as they were. And so we're really worried about our young people and what they're doing out there and how they're safe or staying connected. Food security is a huge problem. I think you probably all are aware of that in our community right now. We're working the best we can to get donations for food boxes and easy and healthy meals that young people can prepare. Stacy, you're going to talk a little bit about the needs of our parenting young people right now.
Yeah, so we do the Mommy and Me, and it includes dads. As COVID has happened, we have adjusted our Mommy and Me program, and we've been doing dinner meals and activity kits, age-appropriate activity kits, and dropping them off every 2 weeks to our folks who were in Mommy and Me, which includes the whole family. So we make the meals for the whole family and drop them off. And one of the things that we were able to do at the beginning, we had found some funding to purchase items that we could use, but that ran out very quickly, was diapers, wipes, and formulas are the things that some of the parents had asked for and was very concerned about getting due to the transportation and not being able to leave the house. So we were dropping off diapers and wipes and formulas and meals, and some people even donated little toys. We created activity bags that had like build your own necklace out of pasta, and then like a how to do that, like things that people could do in the house with their kids to still connect with them and take up some of that time of just sitting around in the house. So those are the things that they ask for the most. Yeah.
Awesome. And then Cody's gonna talk, Stacy showed you a little bit our clothing closet, and I know a few years ago, actually, Arcata Rotary did a huge donation to us, a clothing drive, and that was awesome. We got some really great stuff, really professional clothing too for interviews and things like that. So we really appreciate the work that we did with you a while back. Cody's going to talk a little bit about some of the hygiene supplies that we can always use as donations if you come across them.
Yeah, so as Sonia said, one of the things we try and offer to youth as much as possible are hygiene supplies whenever we have them in. So things like toothbrush and toothpaste, deodorant, socks, underwear, feminine hygiene products, shaving kits, hair ties, combs, soap, and shampoo and conditioner, as well as things like chapstick, and then drawstring backpacks and stuff for youth to hold them in. Just kind of the basic supplies needed to thrive in general.
Yeah. So I know there was lots of chats going on. It's hard to see on my phone, but it sounds like if Crystal can maybe just connect with me, if people have ideas for donations or things, connect with me and I can help get them to Tay. I think that would probably be the best. I'm not sure what our timeline is, but that was what we had to present. We're open to any questions folks have.
Take maybe one question out there. Feel free to chat it in. I think there was one question regarding how many youth do you serve?
Yeah, I think at any given point, our drop-in, we see, 1 to 20 youth in a day. I think on average, maybe about 150 a year, I think is what our data was showing us when we were actively collecting it. But each program, I can't speak for the behavioral health program exactly how many clients they have or extended foster care, but we serve a lot of folks. I don't know, Stacy or Cody, if you have more ideas of exact numbers.
I think you nailed it. It's anywhere from 1 to 20 a day. And then Wednesdays is our big day, so we could have up to 30 to 40 youth throughout the day. It was our main drop-in day where people could access service like right then and there. They didn't have to make an appointment. And that's every Wednesday. So every Wednesday was our busiest day. And yeah, I'd say anywhere from 20 to 30 folks on a Wednesday.
Thank you. Well, Sonia, Stacy, Cody, thank you so much for sharing. I love the tour. It's really helpful to get a visual on what your workplace looks like. And in appreciation for your presentation today, Sonia, we made a donation on your behalf to the Wheelchair Foundation. It's something we do for all of our programs. So thank you very much for visiting us this morning and sharing what you have going on there at Hasty Tasty.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having us. Thanks, Crystal, for reaching out.
Thanks for having us.
So coming back to Amy really quick, do you have anything that you've learned from your committee chairs, from any of your outreach?
Yeah. So, wait. Make sure I'm not missing anything. The Global Services Committee, which Tom is the chair of, meets the second Wednesday of every month, but that committee is on hold right now because they're waiting for next year's budget. And Tom loves working internationally and always looks forward to the next country that they're going to visit. And I can relate to that. I have lots of experience traveling internationally, and it's one of my favorite passions is to travel abroad and meet new people and see new places. And I'd love to be able to get more involved with that committee so that I can help as much as possible abroad. And that's kind of it for now. My wheelhouse is definitely working with foster youth, and so I have a special interest in the Tay committee and talking to Crystal and Patty about how we can
just what we can do for that committee going forward.
Awesome. Thanks so much for sharing. So I think this puts us at a, you're going to be able to do your craft talk next week, and we'll get you transitioned here to Blue Badge. So
Yay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So Nick, you out there for the raffle?
Yep. All right. So like Amy said, today's $100, and there are 3 gift certificates. Let's see who's the winner. Ashley Deal. Let's see what she has. Yeah, she's super lucky. I'm not cheating, I swear. And $5 to Ashley. Thanks again for everybody who donates their gift certificates and all of that, and who continues to participate in the raffle. It's really awesome.
So 110 next week.
110 next week.
Thank you. So I hope everybody has a good Memorial Day. And if you want to thank a soldier, be the kind of American worth fighting for, the quote to end this meeting. Happy Friday, and have a good weekend. And we'll catch you next time.